Hey guys, Carter Punk here. Making a review video for the for my Carter Buzzard. So the Carter Buzzard is a Nelson-based stock class gun. You can get a direct feed adapter for him, but it's made by Aaron Carter. He's from Chula Vista. I think that's where his current address is anyway, and he makes these one at a time. Price point is about I think they start at 500 and you can go up on options up to about 750. This one has a few of those options. It also doesn't have a few of those options. I do actually have the L stock for it. I have a very nice L stock that turns it into a nice rifle, but I don't use that so much. So anyway, mine's obviously blue. First off, this is a post die, so it has the banana trigger they call it, and an aluminum barrel, which really lightens up the gun. It's weighs in at probably right in at 3 pounds, a little bit more than a Phantom, not too terribly much though. And that's because all the internals are stainless steel and the body is stainless steel. So otherwise, it just runs a 12-gram changer VSC style with, like I said, the aluminum barrel is a .691 barrel. And pump stroke on it is very smooth. Maybe not CCM smooth, but one of the smoothest Nelson valves that you can buy. Efficiency-wise, stock I was getting about 27, 28, but I put in a Phantom valve spring, and that boosted it up to about 32, 33, 34, right in there, depending on how fast I shoot. So, efficiency-wise, she's pretty good. A drop-out Phantom will beat you on efficiency, but other than that, it's pretty much comparison with the Phantom as far as efficiency goes. Obviously, I mean, it's a consistent gun that has a good barrel, so it shoots straight. The 12-gram changer is removable here, if I can get my hands on it, otherwise, so you can put a 3.5 ounce CO2 in there, and you can play, or a regulator if you wanted to do that, but regulating a Nelson valve gun is kind of stupid in my opinion. What I'm trying to do here is, the Buzzard collar here is what holds the gun together, and I'm loosening the 2 set screws here. This collar holds the stock class feed on. It's Cocker threaded, but unlike other Cocker threaded guns, it has this beveled edge here on the thing that allows the bolt to interface with the back of the barrel. So that's different than other Cocker threaded guns. Let me get the return spring. It's a 691 aluminum barrel. I have wedgets in mine because 691 is way too large to be playing stock class with. So the wedgets work great though, and they were like 15 bucks from PPS. Otherwise, the gun has got a dual pump arm setup. Which works out great. Makes for a very smooth operation on the gun. And I just pulled up the bolt here. The adjustment for velocity is right here on the bolt face. You're changing the length of the spring by adjusting the bolt there. These things are proprietary. Never lose these. They stay in there pretty good. They're 1032, but they have this neck thing on them, obviously. So I'm just going through taking this whole thing apart, I guess, is what this video is turning into. So we'll go with it. So I have to loosen up the Buzzard collar just a bit more to get the stock class feed to come off. And now we should be able to take the body out and go all the way down to the valve. If I get the right Allen wrench. Not the right Allen wrench. It's a big one. I don't remember it being that large. Okay. So we have here, this is where we get that slip fit auto trigger shit that happens with these guns. Because this body doesn't have any screws mounted on it, There's the hammer. Actually, if you want to see the whole mechanism of the gun, it's right here. This gets pushed on, and then it latches on, and then pulled back forward, and the trigger pulls it. So that's a Nelson valve in a nutshell. But the problem we have here is that this body doesn't have anything threading into its stock, so it can slip forward and backward here on the system, and that makes the trigger line up differently each time, and if it sneaks too far forward, then it will auto trigger every time you pull the trigger, or every time you return the pump stroke. But I have added this little set screw here, which, yeah, it ruins the ano right there, but it makes the gun a lot easier to use. Here's the Nelson valve. Push on this, air comes out. Incredibly simple design, incredibly consistent design. That's why I love Nelsons, because there's 3 internal components, and they're all incredibly simple, and yet the gun shoots amazingly. So, put this thing back together here, and show you what's up there. So when we're putting this back together, I push this back as hard as I can against that, tighten down my my set screw, because this cannot have any crack in it, like I was telling you before. So I make sure I'm pushing against the front of the body when I tighten this sucker in. And tighten this sucker pretty hard. Harder than you would just a normal fitting screw, but obviously not too hard because it is a aluminum. It's a steel screw threaded into aluminum. You don't want to strip that. So just make sure that this is really tight and that this body is pushed back all the way against the gun there. Now the bolt is already in there, so I'm just going to put on the pump handle here. This can get kind of tricksy because the orientation of the bolt, so I'll just do it down here for you guys. Alright. Now we're good to go there. Put on the buzzard collar, and again, this is another one of those you want to tighten these suckers up quite hard to prevent that shift. So tighten them up pretty hard, because this is building tension on the front of the body. Actually, leave them a little loose for now, because what we're going to do is put the barrel on. If those are too tight, the barrel won't fit on. Like the threads, you'll be pushing the body out of round, and so the threads won't line up. So put the barrel on before you do that, and tighten up these guys. Again, fairly tight, but not too tight. And now we've got another working buzzard. As far as my assessment of this gun, really it comes down to this. You spent $500, you should get a gun that works amazing. You just should. You should get a gun that works amazing. And frankly, without putting in this set screw here to prevent the AT issue, and without putting wedgets in the barrel, the gun is very hard to use because it rolls out and it ATs. Those 2 upgrades make it a great shooting gun, and I love it. It's a great shooting gun. But for $600, for $500, you really should get a great shooting gun that you don't have to fuck with. Otherwise, Buzzard's a great performing gun, shoots consistent, shoots accurate, very smooth stroke. It has a little bit more heft than a Phantom, which a lot of people like. It's a great shooting gun. Another thing that I would suggest is to use a hard line instead of macro line. Macro line doesn't like CO2 so much, and it's also, I don't know, hard line just looks way cooler, like on a Phantom. But it is a worthy gun. It shoots great, shoots straight, shoots consistent, shoots efficiently. I really enjoy it, but like I said, for $500, you shouldn't have to send your barrel off to PPS to get $12 wedgets. That should come with, or a smaller barrel should come with, or some, you know what I mean. you just shouldn't have to mess with something when you spend 500, 600 bucks on it, and you have to with the Carter. That would be my only beef with the Buzzards. Otherwise, great shooting gun. I usually use mine as a kind of a pistol kind of gun, but I do have the stock. It shoots great as a VSC stock class. So, yeah, this has been like my review, and it turned into a takedown of the Carter Buzzard. So you guys have a good one, and maybe I'll do some more of these pump review videos later. Alright?